Folks, let me just drop a truth bomb on you real quick. By the end of this month, January, 90% of New Year's resolutions will fail. Meaning, by the time I upload this video, January 7th, 1 week into the new year, over 1/4 of all New Year's resolutions have already failed. Guys, I haven't filled my car's gas tank yet, and you guys still already failed. A fourth of you already failed your New Year's resolutions, and I haven't even filled my car yet. Given that I'm a greasy chud and live in my parents' basement and don't leave, but that just goes to show people don't know how to commit. People don't have dedication. Why is it that year after year we still continue to make these if 1 week into the new year, a quarter of them have already failed? And in another 3 weeks, almost all of them will fail. Only about 10% actually make it and become genuine habits for people. And I think a lot of this can be boiled down into a couple of different categories, including setting unrealistic goals, having no planning on how to get to that goal, or just a lack of dedication in general. But today, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into why people fail New Year's resolutions and how to fix it. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share my most important tip that I think everybody needs to know in order for making resolutions in general. And if you guys have any New Year's resolutions that you'd like to share with the class, don't be afraid to put them in the comments. I will look at them, react to them, and judge them with my almighty judgment. And also let me know if you're still keeping up with it, given that we're already a week in and a quarter of you have failed. You know, it really does amaze me that the new year, for some reason, one loop around the sun on this floating rock dictates when you are going to change your life, when you're going to make that big step in order to improve yourself, whether it be like financial goals or just, getting in shape, the usual, everything that everybody's doing. I'm going to get my pinky toe to lift 8 tons this year. I'm going to break out of the rat race, join Streamers University or Hustlers University with Andrew Tate and become an alpha male, Giga Chad, have all the women in cars. People do this every single year, and it really does amaze me. I personally never make New Year's resolutions, and I'll tell you why at the end of the video. But I've never really been a fan of them. But enough chit chat. Let's get into why people fail. I think one of the more lighter cases for why people fail is just setting an unrealistic goal. Let's say you're a chonking 600 pounds right now. You just finished your episode on My 600-Pound Life and you failed. Dr. Now could not see you because you were too difficult and you kept eating and you couldn't get off your 3,000 McDonald's trips per day diet. All right, you couldn't stick to the salad diet. So now that you've failed just about the greatest resource for losing weight ever, you tell yourself, how am I going to lose this weight? Oh, that's right. It's the end of the year. We've almost gone around the sun another time for the however many times we've done this shit. The new year is a perfect time. I'm going to cut the bull crap. I'm going to stop eating junk, and we're going to get down to 100 pounds. We're going to lose 500 pounds. We're going to lose 80% of my body mass. And we're going to be in tip-top shape. We're going to be perfect because I'm 4'5" and 100 pounds is healthy. 4'5", 600, and I need to get down to 100 to be healthy. So that's what I'm going to do for my New Year's resolution. That's a great example of being completely unrealistic. How the fuck are you going to lose 500 pounds? Just people making these unrealistic goals that don't make any sense. Another one for finance is, let's say you're working an average fast food job and you're like, I'm going to be a millionaire this year. I'm going to get $1 million. And a lot of these just lead into what the next category would be. And that's just having no plan, having zero plan or idea, having no semblance of a thought or any steps in order to get to that goal. How are you going to lose all this weight? How are you going to make this money? If you think you have a plan, it's probably terrible and it's probably not going to work. People that make plans with no steps, there's no way for you to achieve your goal. I want you to name one person who's made a plan with no steps, with no digestible steps. It's like a staircase, it's the most obvious analogy you could possibly think of. Achieving your goals is like climbing up a staircase. You can't just jump to the top. You have to take one step at a time. This is not preschool. You guys all know this. But for some reason, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, all intelligence goes out the window and you just stop the planning. You just forget that you have a goal and that you need to walk 1 foot at a time in order to get to the top. People wish they could jump to the top, but they don't want to climb. They don't want to put in that work. They don't want to put in the legwork it takes to achieve anything good. And that's why there's so few people that have achieved such great things, because it's hard. It's hard to climb up those stairs, but the view from the top is all worth it. We're getting a little too deep in this analogy, but anyways, the next category would be people love making excuses. Just not doing it. You're not going on a diet. You're not working on getting more money. You have no plan, and you're not even going to try. Let's say, Let's say you do have a plan. Let's say you have the greatest mastermind plan constructed by Kira Light Yagami himself in order to achieve your wildest imagination. All right. If you don't do it, it's not going to fucking get done, you idiots. There's no way for me to make it simpler. I can't extrapolate on that very much. People they're just lazy, and I get it, guys. If you know me, you know that I'm just as lazy as all of you. I am no different. I'm very lazy. It took me a week, more than a week, in order to make another video since the new year. If anything, I've done the opposite. Made a New Year resolution to stop making YouTube videos. It's taken me way too long to make this video, guys, but I'm glad I'm back. Anyways, if you're not consistent with your effort into your goals, you're never going to achieve them. Big shocker, I know, right? If you only diet and exercise 1 day out of the month, how are you going to lose weight? How are you going to make money if 1 day out of the month you aim to work towards, I don't know, starting a business or some shit? Look, I'm not the analogy master. I'm just saying what seems to be pretty obvious in my mind, but I guess for a lot of people, they just don't understand this because it's New Year's resolutions. And for some reason, people keep making these New Year's resolutions and they don't go anywhere. So it's to nobody's surprise that they keep failing. All right. Now that I've explained pretty much the reasons that people fail their New Year's resolutions, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that stuff out. I'm gonna help y'all figure out how to actually do them. First things first, set a realistic goal. Set a goal that is manageable and digestible in a understandable amount of time. A lot of obols right there in that sentence. So I want you to write these down. I don't want you to just think about these. Writing them down, get it in writing and post it, put it on like a sticky note in front of your door in your bedroom or somewhere where you're going to see it every day. Having it in writing is a lot easier than trying to remember everything you said, days later. Another thing that's really important, positivity. Ladies and gentlemen, having a good mentality is probably the number one reason why people get through things that are difficult. All right. As an EMT, I've seen a lot of people go through a lot of stuff. And I always tell people that are going through, like about to go to surgery or something, I always tell them the number one thing that they can do for themselves is having a good outlook, having a positive attitude. Because believe it or not, guys, if you are depressed and you don't want to do anything yourselves, don't be surprised if you end up in a nursing home for the rest of your life. Guys, I see this happen so much. It's always the people with a smile on their face that are like, no matter what happens, God's got a plan. I'll get through. And in, less than a blink of an eye or something, I'll be home and I'll be all healthy and glad to go. And those people make my day because I know at some point they're going to get back home to their families. They're going to get through that surgery or whatever they're doing. And this applies to pretty much everything. If you have a positive mindset, then you can achieve so many greater things. And one of the things you can practice this is just congratulate what you have done and not what you didn't do. Let's say you want to go to the gym every day, right? And you go to the gym 6 out of the amount of days in a week. I'm not going to say the number. If you go 6 out of the week amount of days, don't beat yourself up on that one day that you didn't go to the gym. You know what? Be like, hey, I did almost an entire week. I'm very proud of myself. That's better than nothing at all. That's better than 5. That's better than 4. That's better than 3, 2, even 1 day. All right, that's better. That's better than nothing. There's always worse you could be doing, which is absolutely nothing. And if you've done nothing, then be ashamed, be miserable. Fuck you. But honestly, seriously, guys, I'm being very real here. If you just do a little bit of your goal, even if you get like half of it done, if you've done half of the step that you needed to do today, congratulate yourself for it. Pat yourself on the back, because positivity is the greatest reinforcement. Said by me. I am Socrates. I'm the modern day Socrates. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm providing all your philosophy tips and needs. So make sure to give me your money. Someday I'll make money off of this. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Another thing that kind of comes with responsibility and putting a goal on yourself is accountability. Keeping yourself accountable. One great way to do this is letting people know in your life, letting your family, friends, your neighbor, your neighbor's dog, your neighbor's plants, let all of them know that you're starting this goal, right? And you are not going to give up at nothing. If you just let people know, that subconsciously puts you in a state of, I gotta stand on business now. This isn't just in my head. I'm not just disappointing myself. I'm disappointing my peers, my friends and family. I'm going to be casted. I'm going to be removed. I'm going to be shadow banned from my family if I fail this New Year's resolution. Making accountability for yourself is one of the greatest ways you can do that. And an even better way to do that would be to get a friend or someone to do it with you. Get one of your friends, grab them by the neck and be like, you are doing this with me now. We are doing this resolution, and they will say yes. And they will do it with you. And you need to check in with them every single day and be like, look, I did this. Did you do your thing? Did you keep up your part of the deal? 50-50 partners, If you didn't go to the gym and your friend did, and you still got a few hours left, you're going to feel like shit when your friend's going to be all up in your face and be like, oh, look who's wasting away their life on the couch. They didn't go to the gym today. I'm so much better than you. You cannot let your friend do that. You cannot let your friend bask in the happiness of your suffering. It's got to be the other way around. And just think about the other way around. Think about it. Be like, dude, I'm so much better than my friend for doing this. It's such a healthy mindset. I know, guys. I'm just promoting divide and hatred among all of your connections and relationships. But trust me, because I'm a master. The view at the top of the stairs is good, but it's even better if you got someone there to share it with. And now, my number one tip for New Year's resolutions, the most important, my grand dispose, if that's the right word, my grand finale in terms of tips for New Year's resolutions. You want to hear it? It's don't do it on New Year's. This is something that is not talked about enough. New Year's resolutions are stupid. Do you want to know why? Because instinctively, you're waiting until New Year's in order to start the goal. Waiting is a great indicator of you not doing your goal. It's just pre-procrastination. You're pre-gaming the end of your New Year's resolution by procrastinating on it. If you have a resolution, if you have a habit that you want to accomplish, do it now, right now. I don't care if it's December 30th. If it's not New Year's, that's what I'm trying to say. I was about to say 31st, but that is New Year's. If your day is December 30th, don't wait until New Year's. Start it today. This is the day. This day that you're watching this video is the first day of the rest of your life. So do what you want with it, Start your resolution now. That is my number one tip for New Year's resolutions, is to not do it on New Year's. Start it randomly and see where it goes. You can mark the day that you start it. Just, by the time that date rolls around the next year, I have a feeling that you will be much better off than if you started on New Year's. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for my tips and just my opinions on New Year's resolutions. I think they're kind of silly, and I just really wanted to make this video because I feel like it's a pretty good time of the year to make it. So I'm doing it now before it's too late. And today we have something new. It's called a book recommendation. Now, this will be probably the only time you ever hear me talk about a book recommendation. If you know me, I don't read for shit. I hate reading for the majority, but if it's informational videos, if it's books, if it's informational books, then I can kind of get through them. I just don't like storybooks. So I think these books just really helped me with my habits and starting to focus on what is important to me and starting some resolutions after reading these books. And I think they might do the same for you. So if you're interested, check out Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's literally perfect for the definition of this video. It'll tell you how to create good habits and keep them for longer. And then more focused on finance is Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. This is a amazing finance book that teaches you about the way that most people go through life and the way that you probably should go through life if you want to be financially free. Not just rich, but financially free. There's a huge difference, and this book talks all about it and why it's so important. That's all the time I'm going to spend about books. I don't like reading that much, so that's all you're going to get. But today's more important music recommendation of the day is going to go to Bleeds by Wednesday. The entire album Bleeds. This is a phenomenal album. It is critically acclaimed by all of these people I have listed right here. So it's proof that I'm not just spouting some random niche ass emo song. This is a genuinely really good album that mixes genres of folk and rock and some hardcore even to like country. Like this is a album that mixes a lot of these crazy genres and it brings it together to this amazing cesspool of beauty that you really just have to listen to all the songs for. One of the best ones on there is Elderberry Wine. It's more of the folk country kind of song, but it's just so beautiful. And a lot of this album is just fun vocals, good instrumentals, and I almost guarantee you will have a good time with at least one of these songs. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Ponkers, maybe King Ponk, maybe that's my new name, who knows. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your New Year's resolutions. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.